Hello everyone. I thought today we'd have a quick flick through a book that is called Vegetables for Victory by Ambrose Heath. Now the reason I'm doing this is I did promise everybody a long time ago I'd start flicking through some of the vintage cookbooks that were gifted to me by Nuki Zoo. And also I had a little message from one of our viewers yesterday night, and that was Scott, and Scott said I'd love to have a look inside. So today I'm going to have a quick flick through so you can have a look at the book yourself. So let's get this book open. It says Vegetables for Victory, some 600 main vegetable dishes by Ambrose Heath. And here's a message from the author in 1943. We have been encouraged and exhorted to grow and eat more vegetables than ever, yet I fancy the most of us still cling stubbornly to the tradition of serving vegetables only as an accompaniment to meat. Gosh, there's some big words in here, isn't there? Anyway, basically he goes on to say that actually we should be thinking of vegetables, especially during wartime, as a main dish and not just an accompaniment to meat. So if we look at the contents, he goes through all the different types of vegetables that were available during the war to people. Now, the book goes on to explain all the different types of vegetables and what they can be used for. So there are some simple recipes and there are some recipes that, quite frankly, I was a little shocked about. Some of the ingredients I didn't think were available during the war. I don't know whether Ambrose Heath was somehow able to get things like olives. I'm sure he mentions olives in here somewhere. But anyway, actually, it's quite a good little cookbook. And takes you through all the different types of vegetables, page by page, and the things you can make with them. And I guess you dig in there and you have a look and you think, well, these are the rations I've got. This is what I can afford to make. This one uses too many eggs. This one uses too much cheese. And then you will just take your choice. So the book itself has nearly 200 pages. Let's take you to the back and the index. So as you can see, it's quite a hefty index, seeing it's just a little book. Let's take you back there. So here is cauliflowers. So I'm giving you a quick look through. I'm not going to take you through every page because we'd take forever, wouldn't we? But I thought you would like to see some of these recipes. Now look here, Col Cannon. There's a couple of different ways of doing this. That's quite interesting. He says there are many versions of this dish. Here is a good one. Chop up cooked and well-drained cabbage and mash up with a couple of carrots, a cooked turnip, 4 or 5 cooked potatoes. That's the version that I'm quite used to, I think. I've sometimes added things in like leek and onion. Season with salt, and you can serve sprinkled with grated cheese. And here we've got a slightly different version, which I've not made. And that is adding some dried egg powder and some nutmeg and adding it to a greased pudding basin. That's quite interesting. And here's another quite interesting thing. Cucumbers, these vegetables can be boiled or stewed if desired. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever stewed or boiled a cucumber. And there's so many different ways you can use cucumber, from frying to boiling. Cucumber fried Alanaise, whatever that means. Custard marrow. Wow. I mean, I flick through this a number of times, but it never ceases to amaze me. Can't take everything in. I guess what I'm saying is if you like vegetables and you're really keen on economical cooking, I would definitely have a look out for this book. It's quite hard to get hold of and it might be a little pricey, but it's a nice little book to look out for. I guess it would be nice if I could take a photograph of each page and upload it somewhere, but I don't know about the copyright. So that's why I'm not going to flick through every single page in this book. Oh, parsnip pie. These are quite interesting, aren't they? Pea moulds, jugged peas, peas pudding, made that before. Potato balls. Oh dear. Potatoes and cheese. Well, we love potatoes, don't we? You can make everything with potatoes. Pumpkin cakes, pumpkin curry. Goodness. What's this? Salsify. Wash and scrape the salsify. Does anybody know what salsify is? I'm going to have to Google that. Hang on. Okay, now here is quite the paragraph. Scorzonera, sometimes erroneously called black salsify, is cooked in exactly the same way. Well, I'd like to find out what that is. If anybody knows, let me know. And there's lots of things about salsify. As you can see, there's so many dishes. Indeed, tomatoes, vegetable upside down cake. Oh, goodness me. Vegetable toad in the hole. Vegetable pie, vegetable fritters. And let's have a look towards the end. Of course, there's probably not going to be that many puddings, although I know they did make puddings, didn't they, out of vegetables during the war, but I think most of these will be main dishes, suppers. Peasant soup, I've had that before as well, and I've made that version from here too. Anyway, I hope that gives you a good idea of what the book's like. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Lovely old book, 1943. It is in excellent condition. Thank you, Ambrose Heath. Bye.